I'm Stevi.
I'm Tonya. Welcome to Lesbians Eat Out,
your go-to channel
for all your eating out reviews. Okay, so today we are going to review a Lansing favorite. That's Lansing, Michigan, for those of you who don't know. And it is going to be Cask Company hashtag / Front 43.
But what is Front 43?
It's like the bar right next to it.
But that's a different...
It is, but like even the receipt says Cask Company Front 43. I know, it's like a whole different thing, but that's not the point. The point, we're reviewing Cask Company.
Where we ate.
Okay. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so here's how this is gonna roll. We are huge foodies. We love dining out. We love all different things. So many things.
All the food.
And every time we go out to eat, we always have a conversation around
so much critiquing.
So much critiquing. Honestly. And I think what makes this channel super awesome is that we're like
your beautiful face.
Okay. Yeah, well, kind of. Okay.
That's a big part of it.
Stop. Okay. Is that we are huge foodies, but also your average, everyday, normal people who have high expectations for where we dine out, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so we figured, what better way to do that than a fun play on words, because we're gay, and
that wasn't at all obvious. In case you wondered, we are lesbians.
We are lesbians
in a lesbian relationship.
Yeah, we're not just friends.
With each other.
Like, you will find those channels where they're just friends. No.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's not us though, and I get it. Like, breakups, makeups, whatever. Like, but this isn't going anywhere, so we don't need to be friends to run a business together.
No, we don't. Sorry. So circling back. So some of the things that we're going to kind of cover, which we think are super important. I have a really big customer service background, and I am super, super picky about all my customer service.
You're a stickler.
It's true.
Real stickler.
Also true. From what it looks like when you walk in, to how the hostess greets you, to how long you have to wait to be seated, how long it takes for your server to come talk to you when you get seated, because let me promise you, it's not right away all the time.
True. Unfortunate, but true.
Yeah. And I would say atmosphere is super important too.
Mm-hmm. Whereas I am concerned with the menu. Like, I might not even honestly notice the atmosphere if the food is amazing. We'll skip the F-bomb right now. But, if the food is fantastic, that's where I'm at. But I'm also frugal, we'll go with. Yes, I am admittedly quite frugal, so I don't mind paying a lot of money for food, but it better be good food. It better have really unique ingredients, a unique selection. The flavors have got to just like absorb my entire world. If I'm going to pay, say, $200 for a meal for two, I better not be mad about it at the end, basically.
You should see her mad sometimes. It's actually really cute, but
it's not cute, and I appreciate you not saying that when I am mad.
I don't.
You're smart. That's why she's a genius.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I love a good menu selection. I am concerned with ingredient selection for, like, anywhere you can get a basic burger, but like you throw some goat cheese in there, I'll pay an extra few dollars for that. Sure, it's good stuff. I love goat cheese. So Tonya is definitely more of the customer service atmosphere, and I am more cost and menu focused. So together we have a pretty well-rounded critique of most of the places that we eat.
Can I share with them like one of my favorite things about when you eat? Can I share that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Fair.
So when she eats, sometimes if the food is like really good, it is like a whole production. I think there was like a meme about this or something, but like she just like closes her eyes and savors every flavor, and
I will shut off all other stimuli so that 100%. I can focus on the magic happening in my mouth.
100%. It's actually one of my favorite things about you.
I think it's actually one of the first things that I mentioned to you before we went out to eat together for the first time was like, just so you know, sometimes I will not hear you when you're talking to me because I will be busy immersing myself in the experience of my food, and I need you to let me do that. And it's important to me that people let me do that.
And because of that, I do let her do that.
And I love you for it. It's pretty fantastic.
Thanks, maybe. Okay, sorry. This will happen a lot. You're going to notice that we just kind of get swept up in each other, so bringing it back. And then a couple of other things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if people making googly eyes at each other because they're so in love bothers you, this is honestly probably not the best channel for you to watch. Because
100%.
We're terrible about it. And by terrible, I mean it's fantastic.
It is. Totally fantastic.
It really is, though.
Oh, yeah. So a couple of other things. We're going to cover why we chose to eat where we ate.
Yep.
We're going to give our top 3 shout outs about the location.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to definitely cover dessert because apparently not all places offer dessert, which is such a, it's
so sad,
it's
honestly.
Sad. It is.
Like, I don't care if you're serving pancakes. I still want a dessert menu.
Thank you. And then I think our favorite thing is going to be
our 5-tongue review.
No, not that.
Oh,
who did they give the check to?
Yes, as you might imagine, some servers struggle a little bit with this, but a lot of servers make some assumptions, which is super interesting every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think, like, how long was it before we decided we were going to start keeping track of this?
I don't know. You know, when we first started dating, there wasn't a lot of eating out because it was still very, like, deep
That's
into
true.
the pandemic.
By the way, this is a pandemic relationship.
This is true, yes.
Let us tell you about the story of our first date sometime. Not right now, but it's a fantastic story.
It is fantastic, actually. Obviously, it was fantastic, or we probably wouldn't still be here.
True.
Together. Awesomeness.
Yes. So, but yeah, so who gets the check is always a fun little game that we play between the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
Cask Company, a local Lansing favorite. It was a Saturday, so we actually went out to celebrate her birthday, which was Easter Sunday, and so we actually made reservations.
Yes.
Because this is like a super popular place. Like, you do have to wait a long time to get there.
To be fair, I will say it does bother me how many places do not take call ahead reservations or call ahead seating or reservations.
Mm-hmm.
So I did find it really nice knowing that we were going to have a fairly large party that they did offer us the option to make a reservation.
With that being said, on the way to the restaurant, I get a phone call that they're 15 minutes behind schedule.
Right.
Behind our scheduled reservation.
And by on our way, we mean 5 minutes away from the restaurant.
Thank you.
As at our appointed time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got there. I think we had a party of 10. And once we got there, I think we waited an extra half hour past our reservation time in order to be seated.
Right. So they called us 5 minutes before our reservation time. They said it would be an extra 15 minutes, and then it was another 15 minutes beyond that before we actually got seated.
Yeah. So totally fine.
Which, you know, large party, kind of understandable, but also if you know that you're going to have that many people coming, there should be a little preparation involved. Granted, Saturday night, I'll give you a little bit of a break.
To be fair, so I guess this is kind of another lesson for us as diners.
Fair. Not everything is the restaurant's fault.
No, it's not. So we got there, and there was another large party before us.
Mm-hmm.
And actually what it was is they said they were behind. So it was like 15 minutes after our reservation time, and they're like, oh, we have a party who's just getting ready to leave. They've gotten their checks. They're getting ready to go. Well, that party decided to wait and stay for another 20 minutes to talk to each other.
Doing the Midwest goodbye.
It's a whole thing. We'll explain it some other time. But anyway, another 15 to 20 minutes they sat there after having gotten their checks and paid for their checks, to the point that, so we reserved a low top table, and the staff came out and asked if we would be willing to take a high top table because that was the only table they had available for a large party.
Yeah.
Which we said yes to because, well, we were hungry.
True.
And I think it was like 5 minutes after that, the original party they were waiting to clear out finally left.
Yeah. And again, you know, the restaurant can't really control how long
Yeah.
people are going to sit around after they receive our check. I mean, our most recent dining experience, I'm pretty sure we sat around for at least an extra half hour.
Yeah.
Granted, there were other open tables, so I don't feel bad
True.
about it. But
Yeah, so I guess that's just like kind of like a side note to us as diners. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, if you're at a space that does take that reservation, then maybe hanging out after, just eat your food slower and order a couple of extra drinks. But yeah, don't hang out.
If it's super busy.
Yeah,
If it's not busy, who cares? Take your time.
exactly.
Do the longest of the Midwest goodbyes, which takes an hour.
It's a whole thing. So that kind of circles into when it comes to like the service side. The hostess, she was super great. She was super gracious about it. You could tell that she felt bad, and it really wasn't any of her fault. There was nothing she could really do about it. But as soon as there was that open table, and the other thing too that I did notice, and I don't know if you noticed this, but I think she actually went and talked to her manager before she asked if we could take that open table.
Nice.
Just as kind of like a double checking. So that was kind of cool. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did appreciate how communicative they were
Mhm.
to let us know this is what's happening, this is what you should be expecting, you know, this is where we're at in this process. So, you know, it's one thing to have to wait. It's a whole nother thing to have to wait and have no idea what's going on or why you have to wait or how much longer it might be or have literally no idea. So appreciated.
And let's be honest, if we're really truly honest about it, all things communication is like it's helpful everywhere.
is.
Work, restaurants, service, whatever.
Relationships.
Yeah. Stop it. Okay.
Never.
Yeah, please don't. So then from atmosphere, I'm supposed to be talking right now. Then from atmosphere, so one of the things that I think is really important when you go out to eat, like if you're going by yourself or maybe you're going with somebody that you're together and you don't really like them, I guess it's not important. But for us, we like to talk. Okay, so with Cask and their atmosphere, you have your normal dining out sounds, plates, silverware, stuff like that. I don't recall any music being on, but I will tell you this is the one thing that I did not personally appreciate. So Cask and Company is like the restaurant, right? And then you have Front 43 on one side, that is the bar. Now when you go to a sports bar, one would expect TVs and things. Not a big deal. On the Cask and Company side, I'm just expecting a great restaurant. Unfortunately for them, they also had a bar there, but they also had TVs throughout the entire restaurant, which
I think I was sitting facing two TVs that were less than 18 inches away from each other, side by side on the same wall.
Right.
Kind of awkward, honestly, but
yeah. So like there are
at
tons
least they weren't playing the same thing, so that was something.
That was something. Well, but that's the problem, right? With TVs.
I want to visit.
Yeah, we want to visit. And with TVs, especially all TVs that aren't playing the same damn thing, you have a lot of different options for things to look at. So I think that for me personally, if I'm dining out, like I can watch TV on my phone, I can watch TV on my laptop, I can watch TV on my TV.
You can go home and watch TV by yourself instead of inviting 9 other people to come watch TV.
Also, you could
with
do
you.
that too. So I think that like, you know, they're going to do what they do, but my personal opinion, I would say leave
Less
the TVs. Yeah, less TVs and leave the TVs on the bar side.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. Because honestly, where we were sitting, where our huge TVs were right in front of us, you wouldn't even be able to see them from the bar. Only the restaurant area would see them. So it was very kind of odd, really, to have them so front and center.
Yeah.
They were like right above some people's heads that I was sitting across from, so it was very distracting.
Yeah. And then I think it was like maybe 5 minutes max before we were greeted by our server. So it wasn't a lot of lag time in between. She was super nice, very friendly. I mean, just overall, like, I wouldn't say like super memorable, but not awful either.
You know, I would prefer
General.
a not memorable server because
Yeah.
a lot of the memorable ones are memories you wish you didn't have. Anyway.
Yeah, so our server, I think I'm not going to say her name. I do remember her name, but like also, I'd love to give her a shout out, but maybe some people don't want their information all up on the internet like
You
that.
could give her first
The
name.
interwebs. How many other people there with her first name probably work there?
I don't remember her first name, so I have no idea.
Okay, so shout out Bailey, you were great.
I feel like I've had a Bailey as a server before. It's
Probably.
super like.
Yeah, well, we're talking about one location though. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anywho, she was good. I will say though, when it comes to, and it could have just been like maybe it was overwhelming, who knows, but there was one point in time where she came to take orders and she asked who all the checks were going to, and I had a couple to the right of me and they were together, and they're like, well, we're together. She's like, okay, great. And then she started with only one half of the couple and worked her way left instead of starting with the first half. Yeah, the couple in general. So I'd say maybe that'd probably be the biggest critique that I would give. It's just.
But honestly, I don't remember any issues with the checks, so obviously she had it figured out.
Yeah.
If she didn't, I would say, yeah, that's a problem.
Right.
But if that was her process, whatever.
Okay, thanks.
So anyway, so the menu, actually the menu is the main reason that I chose that as my birthday dinner, because we were going to have a very large group, and their menu is extensive. And by extensive, I don't mean like they have 1,001 things on their menu. I mean the variety spans the globe. So they might not necessarily have like, say, a ton of different burgers, but they had burgers, they had chicken marsala, they had steaks, they had sushi rolls, they had grilled cheese sandwiches, and not your kind of run-of-the-mill things. They had very unique flavor combinations in the offerings that they had. So if you like a super basic meal, like I just want a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, and ketchup on it, whatever.
Not your place to go.
No, you could still get that.
I mean, you could, but I would just go somewhere else then.
This is my portion, honey. I just let me have my part.
You know what? You interjected in my part through the whole way, but I was cool with that because
I didn't say the opposite things that you were saying, though.
It's a basic tomato. It's basic. It's tomato, lettuce, and mayo.
Okay, if you like a basic burger, you can get that there. If you want to have like a crazy flavor combo grilled cheese with fig spread and apple slices, also your place to go. Yes. And if you want an Indian dish, get it. If you want a steak, get it. You want soup? Delicious. Sushi? I love sushi. I knew I wanted to have sushi, but I also know a lot of people don't love sushi. So if you're trying to like fit a lot of taste in, this was a great place to go just because they had that great variety of menu options. Yes, I would say it was like I wouldn't say it's your quintessential American restaurant, but I would say it's an American restaurant as far as they serve American food. The uniqueness of the selection was fantastic. The execution also was really good. I will say, like, my one kind of caveat to that is that personally, when I order sushi, I like the entire roll to be cold. I don't love when I have like a warm ingredient in a cold sushi roll. And so like that did happen where part of the roll was warm and part of it was the colder rice and whatnot. Honestly, it wasn't bad. I just feel like the flavor profile is better when all the ingredients have been nicely chilled. But I think that's more of a personal preference as opposed to an actual like, oh no, it's terrible when that happens.
Yeah.
It's just my personal preference. However, the sushi roll that I ordered, I think I got the Black Dragon roll. It was really delicious, super good, and it was a really good portion size also. You know, sometimes you order a sushi roll and you're like, 6 pieces, that's not enough pieces unless they're ginormous. This, I want to say, it was like a solid 10 to 12 piece roll. It was very filling. I actually didn't finish it ever because somebody dropped my leftovers in the parking lot.
Okay, that's rude, first of all.
It's not rude.
It is
it's
rude.
Factual.
It is factual, but that's not the point.
I didn't name names. You did, but I didn't name
I didn't
names.
even say that it was me. I'm just saying it's rude to like totally throw somebody under the bus like that.
It wouldn't be throwing somebody under the bus if that somebody didn't say, oh my goodness, it's terrible. You would say that was the thing that happened.
Anyway,
super delicious.
Yeah. I will say this to circle back to the group of people that we had.
Yeah. We did span the spectrum of selections. Too.
We totally did.
You know,
but it did. We had a group of people who had a ton of different options, and I think that's what makes it really amazing because I have been the person to go out to eat with others that I don't really order a lot because I don't really like the menu. And I've also had people go out to eat that don't order a lot because they don't like the menu. So I think that is, if there's one thing about the restaurant, I think that's amazing. It's that.
Honestly, I don't remember anyone not like loving their food.
That's
while
so
we were
true.
There. Like,
that's so true.
Jake got his steak. He cleared his plate. His husband, honestly, like I looked over, he was eating chicken marsala. I looked over again, it was gone. I was like, okay, must have been good.
There was a lot of burgers and sandwiches that had happened too.
Didn't Jess get a bison burger?
Yeah, I think she got a bison burger.
And then her wife got. What did Laura get?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what everyone got, but I do remember everyone seemed very happy.
They were very happy.
Food,
also,
and we got an appetizer too. We got the crab rangoon dip while we were there. So instead of having crab rangoons, it was the filling was your dip, and then it came with both like the like
little
what they
pita
call
bread.
wonton chips, and pita bread.
Pita bread.
It was better with the wonton chips.
100%, yeah, because it's crab rangoons.
Right, that's what you would expect to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a super delicious appetizer. I would say for an appetizer, it was not a huge portion, but it was like almost a perfect snack before a meal. So it's not something that you could order as a meal.
Which I do that a lot.
I do that also, but a lot of times it's just because the appetizers are better than some of the things on the menu. But this was like, you really just want a starter to kind of hold you over till your food comes. That was a really great size for that. But as a meal, it wouldn't be enough, for sure.
And then I had the fantastic grilled cheese that she was talking about. Thanks for spilling all the secrets.
Not your mama's grilled cheese.
Not your mama's grilled cheese. So it had, I think it had Gouda and Havarti on it. It had apple slices, and then it had fig jam on the bread, which was so good.
Sweet and savory.
Sweet and savory. I'm a big sweet and salty person, sweet and savory. So it really, the apples were really crisp. Not super crisp, but just crisp enough. And you could tell that they were fresh. And then the fig itself, that sweetness paired with the cheese.
My mouth is watering. So good. All the food that we had there.
It was delicious.
But yeah, for why we ate there, honestly, the criteria that we were looking for was, you know, large party. Let's make sure there's going to be something that makes everybody happy on the menu. Like, yeah, okay, it was my birthday, but like, I knew that there was going to be stuff that I wanted.
Isn't she sweet? She's like, it's my birthday, but I'm thinking about all of you. She is a better human than I, because I'm like, it's my birthday. I want to go where I want to go.
I mean, I appreciate that people show up, you know, and I don't want to make, like, who's going to come to my birthday next year if I make this year miserable?
True, but I think everybody would come because they love you. So, anyway.
I mean, alright, I guess.
They do.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I'll hear you.
And then, so that was pretty much the main reason why you picked it. Okay.
Well, that and because location-wise, it was pretty convenient for everybody that we had coming. Because we had some people coming from towns north of Lansing, some people coming from towns south of Lansing. You know, I was in Lansing. So really, the location was pretty convenient because it was it's close to a highway.
Ooh. Okay. except for this one thing, and I think that people should probably know more about this. Parking was horrendous, but that's because I think a lot of people don't realize that there's parking in the back of the building.
Yeah,
it's in like a little strip mall, and it has a couple of other different restaurants in it, a couple of other different businesses, of course.
Right.
But the front parking lot is the front of the strip mall. It fills up quickly. And I think people don't realize that there is that parking lot in the back of the building. So if you happen to go and it seems pretty busy, and also there is a back entrance too. So that's kind of important. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a great location. If you are not familiar with the Lansing area, Lansing is neighbor to East Lansing, which houses Michigan State University. So that's kind of our biggest reference point for most people. And this restaurant is kind of like
almost on the border between the two, between Lansing and East Lansing, which by the way is its actually own city.
It is its own city.
Not just a part of Lansing.
I didn't know that until I moved here, but yeah.
Two distinct cities.
It really is. Oh my God, so much so. Anyway, that's a whole other topic.
It is.
And then our top 3 shout outs.
I would say menu selection, definitely top shout out for me. I don't think I've ever actually been to a restaurant that had quite the menu variety that Cask Company had.
Awesome. Okay, so this is going to be a little weird, but again, remember, customer service person here, atmosphere person. Second shout out is going to be the bathrooms. And I say that because they were very clean. You can go to a great restaurant and still have a gross bathroom.
I hate that.
Oh my God, right?
It's the worst.
Why? Anyways, sorry. The bathrooms are really clean, and it also had a full-length body mirror, a really nice one, so you could check yourself out before you went.
Yes.
So you don't have toilet paper stuck to your shoe.
Or your shirt weirdly only half tucked in.
Weird,
it's always
yeah,
a weird thing to happen.
Weird thing to happen. So the bathrooms were really nice, very up to date and modern, and very cleanly, very clean.
Let's see. Third shout out, I would say food execution.
Yeah.
We had again quite the variety of meals chosen in our party, and nobody was unhappy with their food. Everybody loved what they got. My sushi was delicious. Jake's steak was delicious. Jess's burger was delicious.
The grilled cheese was phenomenal.
Appetizers were good.
Yeah. Then, oh my God, what was the one appetizer everybody was eating? Everybody got, because we got our crab dip.
Brussels sprouts.
The Brussels sprouts.
A place is good if they make Brussels sprouts that a lot of people want to eat, because not a lot of people actually love Brussels sprouts that much.
It's true.
So if you do them right.
Yeah, I think everybody tried the Brussels sprouts and were pleasantly surprised.
I don't think and some people definitely said they did not like Brussels sprouts and were like, oh yeah, I would still eat those.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, so food execution.
Yeah, true.
For sure.
And then one of our biggest pet peeves, as we said earlier, not having a dessert menu.
True.
The dessert menu, it was good.
Short.
It was short.
It was probably the smallest portion. Like, there were more sushi rolls to get at a non-sushi restaurant than there were desserts, which is a little odd, but
Yeah. Nobody ordered dessert before we left, and I think that's just because we'd been there for a really long time and we had other plans after.
True.
But we did take a blueberry
crumble
cheesecake.
It was blueberry crumble cheesecake.
Blueberry crumble cheesecake.
Which, thank God that didn't get dropped in the parking lot. I would have been so sad. It's nothing personal.
Anyways, moving on. Next. Thank you, next.
Okay, so as far as
who got the check,
to be fair, we sat pretty close to each other, so there wasn't a lot of room for the server to be in between us. And I did find that throughout the meal, she would tend to go to your right side. Which I think is because there was more space between you and the next person than probably any other place, and it was pretty central to the table.
Well, but that's because there was actually an empty chair there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's why
we had a little smaller party than we were expecting. A couple people canceled, so we had a little more room, but
so she gave me the check, and honestly, I really truly believe it was just for ease.
Location.
It was location.
It was really,
100% true.
But still, Tonya got the check. Doesn't happen that often.
That's fair. Do you want to give the check breakdown?
Yeah, let me see here about my, so we got 2 meals, 1 appetizer, and 2 drinks. I think we each had a glass of wine.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so the meal was $65.28, tax $2.76. We tipped $13.60. So total for 2 meals, 1 appetizer, 2 glasses of wine, $81.65. Not a bad meal, honestly, for that kind of a menu and for kind of the higher end ingredients, I would say.
Very much so.
Definitely doable.
So, oh, I think we forgot to tell you that, so you know how like you can do like thumbs up, star ratings, all the other things, right? Some people like to rate in hearts. We thought, what better way to rate a restaurant than to have tongue reviews?
I would say that the food was a 5. The food and menu was a 5. The atmosphere and customer service was probably a 4, a high end 4. So I give it a solid 4.5.
So a solid 4.5 licks.
4.5 licks.
4.5 licks.
A half lick being without the tongue flick, which is the best part. That's
Oh my
what takes
God.
it up to a 5.
Oh, okay, that's fantastic.
It's true. We all know it. You especially know it.
Stop. This is. Hey. Anyway, so that our friends.
That
thank you.
is Cask Company by
Lansing, Michigan. Oh, sorry.
by
Lesbians Eat Out.
Thanks.
Thanks.